Welcome on the one, the only, the very beautiful, very smart Heidi Regina. Heidi, how are you doing?
Hi, Heidi.
I'm so wonderful. How are you?
Well, this Christmas season is tough for me because I've recently lost somebody that I love very much, multiple people. So for the holidays for me, I'm going to be drinking a lot and I'm going to be using a lot of barbiturates to medicate myself. But other than that, I'm doing great. What about you, Lila? How are you doing this Christmas?
I'm doing great. Hi, Heidi. Nice to meet you. You look
Hi,
gorgeous.
Lila. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Likewise, you guys are also festive.
Well, it is Christmas time, but the reason why we want to have you on, Heidi, is like you're a viral sensation. You know, my buddy David, who I'm going to see tonight, his episode with you, I think it's at like 1 million views. You've really kind of come onto the scene. You're the new era of Kill Tony, you know, when Kill Tony is the biggest it's ever been. So coming from Lila, who was there when it was it's still a big show, but obviously much smaller than it is now. Did you know about Kill Tony? When did you become aware of Kill Tony, Heidi?
So I had not even known about Kill Tony when I was first scheduled to go on the New Year's show. It's going to be a year for me this New Year's of being on the show, but I had no idea who Tony Hinchcliffe was. I had no idea what was going on for the show. I was totally new to it. So my first experience of it was actually I went with my hairdresser right before I was supposed to go on. And I was like, wow, this is something like I'd never seen before. It's super high paced and just it's a lot of craziness. So I didn't know anything about it, and now I absolutely love it. But I still haven't seen the episode with Lila, so I haven't gone that far back. I am way too busy to watch all the old episodes, but people say that those are the best ones. So.
Well, I think the new ones, though, I mean, that Shane Gillis episode actually had more watch hours than Joe Rogan's biggest episode. So you can say that Kill Tony is now bigger than Joe Rogan, which sounds crazy, but according to the watch hours, that is the case. So it's insane. Lila, did you expect Kill Tony was going to get the #1 show on YouTube? I mean, you had to think, oh, it's a popular show, but not the #1 show. Did you expect that?
With the way that how popular it was when in my era of time
in LA when they filmed it,
yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's just continued to grow, and it's about consistency, and he's been very, very consistent.
Yeah,
doing the show every week and never really missed.
And Heidi, he pays you well because I mean, you're the reason they're getting a lot of views and clicks.
He better.
I know he better. Please tell me he's paying you handsomely.
Well, I have merch. I have people who sponsor me now. I have outside things that are like changing my life as well. I mean,
I have an AA sponsor too, and he's annoying as hell. I hate my sponsor. He's always bugging me.
No, I mean, like I have a hairbrush sponsor. I have my dental sponsor, Austin Dental Spa, which I just went to today. So besides just the Kill Tony stuff, it's insane how much is going on in my life. And then just people coming to buy my merch at the actual clubs that I manage. It's wild. I can't even leave my home half the time.
Hey, Heidi, this is a personal question. So you just talked about how you have a deal with with Austin Dental, I think you just said. I've been arguing with my girlfriend about this a lot. And I think, Lila, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I'd like you to weigh in. I need to get about $11,000 in dental work. And I'm thinking about going to Tijuana to get that done. And I'm also going to, maybe while I'm there, they can do a tummy tuck and they can do a little neck thing and then they can do a little filler. Would that be bad if I went and got plastic surgery and dental work in Tijuana for a quarter of the price that it costs in the United States of America?
I mean, I think that it would be a good idea if that's what you'd like to do, but you can absolutely go there for cheaper. But Turkey would be a great option. I just had a girlfriend come back from Turkey. She had all her dental work down there. Every single tooth in her mouth was redone for like $6,000 or something like that.
No,
total.
Heidi, for that cheap?
Yeah.
Because all I need is I need a couple of fillings, but they say I need to fix an implant. I have an implant for some reason. I got to refix that. So that's like $3,000. But if I go to Mexico, it's literally $800. So you think I should go to Turkey and not Tijuana is what you're saying?
I don't know. If you have a direct flight to Tijuana, then you might as well go to Tijuana. But Turkey's a lovely city. Istanbul is a beautiful city. I visited there many times. I lived there. So I just am an advocate for Turkey because I love Istanbul.
I've been to Istanbul.
You have been to Istanbul?
Yes, I got lost in the market.
Why is that?
Oh, geez.
Because is it the Grand Bazaar, right?
The Grand Bazaar.
So
they
huge.
sell spices. They sell everything.
Well, you know, I was actually at a flea market, and this is when I was in Rome, Italy, when I was in 8th grade. And have you ever heard of a Romanian gypsy, Heidi?
Yes, you have to be careful of them
You have to be
stealing your stuff.
you have to be very careful. And before I went on this trip in eighth grade with my father and my good friend Rex Womble, we actually bought necklaces that went around our neck that held our passport and our cash. And this is a true story, Lila. This is one of the scariest moments of my life at the time. Now I've had much more traumatic run-ins with the law and with not law with humans. But this is a true story, Heidi. Out of nowhere, I'm like looking at a pair of like jeans or like tennis shoes or something, and there was a flea market. And out of nowhere, a woman just came up to me. She's dirty and hands me a baby. I swear. I'm like, yes. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what to do. Then the next thing I know, I'm holding this baby because I just hold the baby. And two kids run in, like they try to pickpocket me. Nothing's in my pocket. And before I know it, the woman took the baby from me. And I did not cry, but I was shook. So I was really shook when I held that baby. The baby was kind of dirty too. It's a true story.
Yeah, well, that's what they do to kind of distract you so you could get robbed.
We should do that with you, Lila. Maybe I could pick you up and hand you to somebody, and then Jimmy could go and pick their pockets.
Yeah, it probably work.
That would work. Okay, Heidi, real quick, though, we only have you for a short amount of time. You've seen this rise and all these celebrities. Give us one of these stories. I know these comics are out there. They're trying to hit on you and do all kinds of crazy stuff. They're like, listen, I got a Netflix special. What is? Come on, give us some inside baseball. What comedian is trying to give you the razzle dazzle?
I feel like they all protect me very much. I feel like all the guys that are on the show really look out for me. We keep it as professional as possible in this whole realm. But on stage, I feel like they hit on me way more than off stage. Like the whole Trump thing about my tits, like that was obviously that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I really feel like very, very safe. And I feel like I have a whole bunch of guys, especially the regulars, everybody who's just looking out for me and for my best interests and to keep my integrity in the whole business of it all. So I haven't had I'll go, Mitzi's after party and hang out with everybody, but I wouldn't say anyone's ever been inappropriate to me or even tried anything at all, actually, because for the most part, I'm very well respected with everybody who comes on the show, as is Tony and everybody who's a part of it. So
I think that's just proof.
Sorry, I don't have any dirt for you, Alex.
That means they're gay. That means they're gay.
No, that means they're not running a Diddy party, okay?
Yeah, I know. Have you ever been to any sort of Diddy party? Is Tony ever making you buy a bunch of baby oil and Joe Rogan is having you come out to his ranch? Are they doing their own version of Diddy parties? I haven't heard that, but I just speculate that they might do something like that.
No. I have not been invited to any. Unfortunately, I would love to go see a spectacle like that, minus the babies, minus, all of that. But no, but I did see Uncle Laser went to this crazy party out in LA for Halloween.
I heard that story.
There was, I saw the pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to be looking at this right now. But yeah, they all went out there for some Halloween party, but no, we haven't had any Diddy parties. I think we need to start having them. Will you ship us some lube, some baby?
I will, 100%. All the free lube. Send it to the mothership, Jimmy. I send a box to the mothership. Let's do an ad read.
Let's do an ad read.
All right, guys. Are you one of the many struggling comedians signing up for Kill Tony that has turned to alcohol to numb the pain of your sad little life? If so, you'll love our next product. Fox and Odin has founded a new generation of whiskey makers to honor and preserve the masterful legacy of pre-prohibition whiskey blending and finishing. Their distillers use only the finest ingredients to craft ultra-premium whiskeys that are rich, complex, and unforgettable. This season, let these perfectly blended spirits complement the holiday view. A warm fire, a shared meal, packages wrapped and ribboned and left under a tree. However you celebrate, enjoy it to the fullest with double gold, award-winning Fox and Odin Craft American Whiskey. So don't unalive this Christmas. Oh, come on, Jimmy.
YouTube terms of service.
I know, but okay. Buy online at foxandodin.com and use code America for free shipping. That's foxandodin.com, promo code America to get free shipping. American made, American proud. Now, you see Tony right there. Look at this guy. He's got the #1 show on YouTube. There's rumors, and I know you probably can't say that much, but, there's rumors that the show's going to be picked up by Netflix, and they're going to do a lot of the big events. Can you speak on that at all, Heidi? Can you give us some inside baseball? Do you know if that's a rumor or is that true?
Alex, I have no idea. But I don't even know who's going to be on the show until they walk on the stage, basically. So I have no idea if Netflix is going to pick it up or what's going on. All I know is that we're sticking to what we're doing, and I don't know. I just show up. I just show up on Mondays. I just look hot. Okay. That is my whole thing. I have no behind the scenes anything because the only person who knows anything about it is Tony. Like Tony, like when who came on? Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan.
My biological stepdad,
backstage,
Tucker. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, loved. Oh my God, he was so fantastic on the show. He did an absolutely epic job. But I had no idea that they were even going on stage. And they came backstage, they walked away, then they came back out on stage. So I'm like backstage, and I have no idea that they're going to be going on stage. So until the chairs come out, okay, now I got to go bring a chair on stage. That's when I know that we might have another guest. So everything is super under wraps.
I know.
Oh wait, yeah. Alex, I think I have a way to get some inside baseball out of Heidi.
Jimmy, what?
Is there any memorable drink request? Like, did an MMA fighter request a super fruity drink, or did like Jordan Peterson, was he slamming shots behind the stage?
No, Jordan Peterson's sober, Jimmy. He's sober.
Well, exactly.
Sober, so am I.
Behind the stage, though.
No, but I did accidentally bring. Who did I bring? There was Winona Ryder requested shots for everybody. Oh, and I brought an alcoholic shot to William Montgomery, who's also sober. At that time, I wasn't sober, so I took both shots just to like get them out of the stage. But yeah, so everybody's pretty much sober who comes, and for the most part, they're not drinking anything crazy. The craziest thing I've seen consumed was Luis J. Gomez consuming a calcium deposit.
Wait, what did the Puerto Rican rattlesnake drink? Yeah, I know Luis very well. What did Luis drink?
He ate the kidney stone of one of the comics.
Brandon, is this true? What was it, Luis?
I saw that clip. That was wild.
He ate something that somebody urinated out. Luis J. Gomez ate that?
Yep, allegedly.
And this is true. Luis just posted on Twitter that he got.
Really?
Oh,
We're not on YouTube, right?
That's unfortunate.
We are not.
Well, Luis J. Gomez is probably going to die very soon. Rest in peace, Luis. I hope not. Did you see he got?
I did not see that, but maybe it was saline.
Oh, yeah, maybe it was saline. What do you think? Okay, now we got to ask the tough questions. Was 9/11 perpetrated by people within the United States government?
I believe so. I believe it was an inside job. I think that the first clips of that were them talking about bombs going off. I actually did a funny little skit with Hassan and Derek the other day, and they were pretending to be Obama, or not Obama, Osama bin Laden. And anyways, I was like, so how is it being best friends with George Bush? How many bombs did you set off personally? But yeah, I believe it was an inside job for sure.
Well, that's the correct answer for that one. Now, this is the real tough one. The 1969 through 1972 Apollo moon missions. Did America put a man on the moon, or was the moon landing fake?
The moon landing was Hollywood.
Yes!
I believe it was Hollywood. There's some, allegedly, there is some sort of a studio that they used to film at, all of these sorts of things. And even like some of the nuclear explosions, they've kind of like gone through and shown you like, oh, there's a car in this one place, and then the nuclear bomb goes off, and then the car's put after the nuclear wave goes off. And it's like, how did the camera survive the nuclear wave? Well, so I just look at the footage and it's adorable to me.
I love that, Heidi, because listen, that's why they use these nuclear weapons. They try to scare us. Like, of course, we have these huge, big bombs. They have big bombs, but they want to make you think that we have this nuclear arsenal that can just blow up the world by the push of a button, which is just not true. And they use this as a pretense to invade countries. Like they said that there's weapons of mass destruction in the war on terror. That was fake. They didn't have any weapons of mass destruction. So that's why they like these big bombs, and that's why they want us to think, oh, man, am I going to be a victim to a big bomb going off? When in reality, it's highly unlikely. Okay, how do we solve the Gaza-Palestine conflict? How do we solve that, Heidi?
I wish that I could say that the politicians who are in charge of solving those problems are doing a great job doing it, and I am definitely not one of them. So if they don't even have it right, I definitely cannot give you that answer. But I do believe that, your fear and what you believe about the world is your cage. So I really believe in expanding my mind, focusing on things that I can control in my life, which is my happiness, my health, helping other people, being kind, just in my everyday life. And those are the things that I think that I'm doing in order to help those sorts of tragedies around the world, realizing that they can happen and there are people that are impacted by them. But also, the only thing that I can do from my platform is to spread awareness about things, but also just be a good fucking person, you know?
That is true.
That was great.
That was great.
I felt like we were like pageant hosts asking you a question and you gave us like the most beautiful answer. Yes,
but
I'm
it's
voting for her.
true. Like, what can I do? You know?
Well, speaking of that, wait, Heidi, what is your background? Because I was looking at your Instagram. You were also you were a sideline reporter for the Lingerie Football League, which I lost a lot of money. I used to gamble on it like crazy when I was addicted to sports gambling. What is your background? Because you're obviously more than a cocktail waitress.
Right. No, I mean, I was a stay-at-home girlfriend for many years, which kind of allowed me to work on myself, but also learn about other, like my counterpart and work on the things that he had going on for him. So that was what I was doing for the longest time.
Wait, time out. So you're saying you're a stay-at-home girlfriend for a really rich guy? Is that what that means? Is that what you're saying?
Not a really rich guy, but unfortunately younger than me too, which does not work in the grand scheme of things. But no, I did that for forever, and then I was a sideline reporter, spokesmodel for a bunch of different things throughout my whole life. So I kind of quit doing that when I was getting into my upper 20s, and I was like, everybody's now 18, you know, and I'm kind of aging out of this. So I love doing it though. And I also have helped many, many, many pageant women actually. So it's funny that you say that. I help with both interview skills and then as well as overall appearance and just like making sure that what they put out into the world is like a cohesive kind of a bundle so that people understand it.
You're very
I don't do that with myself.
She is.
Thank you. I don't do that with myself. I'm like, I don't care if people don't understand me. But for somebody who's running for like Miss USA, Miss Texas USA, any of those, it's very important that they get their point across of who they are with what they wear, how they look, how they speak, what they say. So they have to understand who you are like that.
What do you think about transgenders competing in these pageants? Is that cheating? A person that's a biological male transitioning to a female? Because there's been multiple pageant winners that were born male, which I think that's cheating, to be honest. You know, I think that you should have to be born a woman. But is that bigoted? Is that xenophobic of me to say that?
I don't believe so. I believe it's a space set up and designed for women. And there needs to be spaces like that in this world that women can compete with women who are women. I believe that there's so many other outlets for trans people. There's other pageants that women cannot compete in, biological women cannot compete in. So it kind of goes both ways. That's actually when I really started getting out of the system, the Miss Universe system, because I don't personally believe that biological women, when I signed my contracts to compete, I had to sign and say that I was a biological woman. And that was the rule. And then all of a sudden it started changing when the agenda started changing, when Trump sold Miss Universe, those sorts of things started to happen. And I just didn't agree with the agenda anymore. So I still love helping women find their voice. That's never going to change. But in that arena, I think there's better things that we can be doing than striving to be Miss Universe in a system that doesn't recognize our personal struggles, you know, as a woman.
Well, that's going to get clipped and you're going on Reddit and you're going to be considered a transphobe. Now, like I said, we'll have you for a couple more minutes.
I'm not.
I know you're not. I know. Listen, I don't hate gay people. They say I don't like gay people. I have gay pride. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan my whole life, so I obviously have a lot of gay pride. But 6th Street, Austin, it's dangerous. People doing DMT. I see the Black Hebrew Israelites are oftentimes over there causing some drama. What's the craziest thing that you've seen? You know the guys that wear those boots, the militant guys, they yell. I've seen them yell outside of the mothership. What's the craziest thing you've seen on 6th Street so far, Heidi?
A lot of nudity, a lot of people using restrooms where they shouldn't. There is no restroom.
You see number twos? You've seen people go number 2 on 6th Street?
I've seen the aftermath, yes. It's horrifying. But every time I go to 6th Street, I only go to 6th Street to go to the mothership. But there's always this gentleman outside my car, and I always give him a couple bucks to watch my car. And there's going to be one day when I come back to all the cars and they're all going to be broken into besides mine, because I've been doing this and making sure he'll sit there till I come back after the show. So he's just an angel and absolutely is watching out for me. But yeah, a lot of songs being sung. I once had a guy pray for me And that was just gibberish. It was very scary. I was like, yes, in Jesus's name. Like I had to pray back. But yeah, it's a wild world down there. It's a wild street. I stay far away from 6th Street.
I know it doesn't make sense because I know Austin is lawless, but Travis County, the county that Austin's in, is like very strict, very punitive county. So it kind of doesn't make sense that 6th Street, like you said, you can just walk down 6th Street and see a naked male going number 2, and that's not unusual. That's actually, highly likely if you spend enough time down there. All right, before you go though, Heidi, what's next for you though? I mean, what are you? You should stay with Kill Tony as long as possible. It's the #1 show on YouTube. I'm not telling you to change there, but like, what are you kind of planning? What are you going to do other than the sponsorships? Have you been creating more content now that you're a super viral, basically? I guess, what is your plan for the future, Heidi?
I'm so lucky and so blessed to be a part of Kill Tony right now. It's absolutely wonderful. So yes, I'm going to stay there as long as they want me on the show, as long as people are still excited to see me. But I do have now a subscription on my Instagram, and I just hired a videographer editor to come follow me around, do some like day in the life sort of things with me, as well as I sell merch. I'm going to be getting into producing a little bit more on some other different projects that I have. I own a jewelry thing, and I sell art and things like that on my Etsy. So I'm going to be doing more of that. But yeah, I just want to keep doing whatever God has planned for me. I'm happy with it. And I'm just so grateful to be in the moment, and every moment is leading me to the next. So whatever is best for me, I trust that it's going to come in the right time.
Okay, this is the last question. I was just recently down there for no, but this is the last one. And this is the one.
Yes, you were. I saw you guys. Yes.
But I don't want to bring this up because Tony's doing such a great job. But when you go to the sign up for Kill Tony, it is like an AA meeting for people addicted to methadone. It is like everybody there. There's a few bright spots, but I'm just saying there's 500 people that signed up. 400 of them are living in their car. The other 50 of them, probably have a decent job, kind of a normal Joe guy. And then, the others just, whatever. I'm just saying it's not exactly the most positive place. So, do you see these kind of horror stories and some of the grind that these people living in their car, they finally get on Kill Tony, and then they go up there and bomb? I hate that. I hear those stories over and over. Does that just make you feel so sorry? And do you think Tony feels sorry for him, or does Tony understand because he's been doing it so long, he realizes, hey, some comedians make it, some don't?
Yeah, I think it speaks to kind of the overall industry a little bit more than just, Kill Tony. I think for the most part, comedians need to be paid more. People need to be paid more for sharing their art. And it's just not a thing. It's like you should have this struggling period, but that struggling period isn't exactly like conducive to actually having like outbursts of creativity. Like if you're struggling and you don't have security, you can't be creative.
Yeah.
So it is unfortunate. And it makes me so sad when people come on and they have this horrible, sad story, but there's nothing you can do about it. And I think you would be better served like to be doing open mics and doing those sorts of things while having some sort of stability underneath you, so that you can be creative. It's like you're working 80 hours a week. When do you have time to write? And when do you have time to any sort of freedoms? You just don't have them to even think creatively or have any sort of enlightenment, period. So, yeah, it makes me sad. I wish everybody does good every time backstage. I just want people to absolutely shine on the show. I want it to be their moment. I want them to start selling out arenas all over and just be doing so well. But I know that it's so difficult. It's like, gosh, you have a minute and then the interview can sometimes like kick you up a notch. Mm-hmm. But as far as getting booked and everything too, that's a whole different world of clubs that should be, paying people more, making sure like if there's an open mic night, maybe giving every comic a meal or giving them a drink. Maybe that would be not an alcoholic beverage, but a drink. Maybe that would help kind of solve the problem.
No, it's great. I mean, Tony has put hundreds of comedians on the map, but there's also thousands of comedians that they go there, they die, and then they can almost never come back. It's a sad reality, but that's why comedy is hard, and that's why not everybody makes it, and that's show business, baby. So, Heidi, thank you for coming on. Tell the people where they can find you and support you before you go.
Gina, GINAAA.HG on Instagram. My Etsy is Sensi Space, SENSI. SPACE, where you can buy all of my merch and all of my cool stuff. And then I think that's probably about it. Actually, I have a YouTube, Heidi's Human Experience, which I'm going to be doing some more podcasting on shortly. And of course, Kill Tony every Monday.
Awesome, Heidi. Well, thank you for joining us.
Heidi.
Merry Christmas. Everybody go support Heidi.
Thank you,
Go follow
Lila.
her.
And Heidi, I'm your biggest fan. Just want
Shut
to
up,
let you know
Jimmy.
that.
You're married. You're
Thank
married.
you, Jimmy.
just
Gosh,
fan.
how did you screw this up on YouTube live?
I
Jimmy? I've
know.
heard
Jimmy's
about
an
this.
idiot.
He should be fired.
I agree. I've been trying to fire him forever, but I sent him to gay conversion therapy and they turned him straight. Now this company will not let me fire him because he's such a success story.
It's good for your optics, Alex. It's good for your optics. You're hiring gays. How can you hate them?
Former gays. I have a baby now.
Former gays.
And a wife.
Oh, good
And
for
he has a
you.
wife and a baby now. All right,
beard.
Heidi. Thank you. You're the
Bye,
best.
Heidi.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye, guys.
See you,
Thank
Heidi.
you.
Heidi's great.
She's awesome.
She is great. She's going to be a superstar.
Beautiful, well-spoken. I mean, I
She needs to start her podcast immediately. Her episode with David Lucas. You know, I watch David Lucas, maybe not the whole podcast every week, but I follow David. So I was like, oh my gosh, look how many views this got. And now it makes sense. I watched the episode. I'm like, well, she's very likable. She's very bubbly.
She has really good energy.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself